Let us begin with the conclusion. Coking coal will take a growing share of Shanxi's total coal output. Back in the 1980s, there were no official statistics on the share of Shanxi's coking coal production. At that time, I was working in the Science and Technology Division of the Provincial Coal Department, responsible for coal processing and utilization. We published a journal called Shanxi Coal Information. Every year, we conducted the surveys on production volumes by coal grades. In 1985, Shanxi's coal production was 214 million tons. Among that, coking coal accounted for less than 30%. The average mining depth was around 300 meters. In 1999, during the restructuring of Shanxi's coal industry, Fengwei Energy carried out emergency preservation and organization of historical coal data. This later led to the establishment of SX Coal. From then on, detailed statistics by coal grades became available. The data show that in 2025, Shanxi's coal production reached 1.3 billion tons. Among that, coking coal accounted for 55%. The average mining depth was around 500 meters. Some mines had already extended below 600 meters. After 2025, the future proportion of Shanxi coal production will depend on remaining resource endowment. More than 10 years ago, I published a book titled Shanxi Coal Resources and Development Strategy Evaluation. In that book, we conducted detailed statistical analysis. Shanxi's identified coal reserves, meaning resources that have been fully explored but not yet mined, amounted to 265.28 billion tons. Among these resources, the proportion of coking coal had already increased to 63.8%. If meager coal, widely used as coking coal, is also included, the proportion rises to 79.5%. In addition, within resources shallower than 2,000 meters, there are still substantial unidentified resources. This amount to 389.92 billion tons. Within these resources, the proportion of coking coal will increase even further. Next, we will use the Shanxi Coal Resource Atlas, prepared by our company many years ago to analyze the major coal fields one by one. First, let us look at the Datong coalfield. Historically, mainly Jurassic thermal coal was mined out in Datong. However, the Jurassic thermal coal resources are now nearly depleted. Large-scale mining of the deeper Permo-Carboniferous gas coal seam started. As gas coal extends deeper underground, it gradually transforms into one-third coking coal. Now, let us look at the Ningwu coalfield. We can see that all current mines distributed along the shallow peripheral zones. When we prepared this map, we selected the lowest coal seam in the region. Under normal circumstances, the lower coal formations generally have a slightly higher coalification than the upper formations. This map shows that the entire Ningwu coalfield consists of coking coal. In reality, within the upper Permian strata, there is a narrow thermal coal zone along the shallow edges. This was exactly the area where mining activities were concentrated over the past several decades. Today, most of this coal has already been exhausted. Further, mining will reach gas coal. Then fat coal comes next. Going deeper, it becomes primary coking coal. Now let us examine Hedong coalfield. In the Hedong coalfield, the shallow thermal coal resources in the north are already close to depletion. Further downward, the mining scale of gas coal has been increasing in recent years. Going deeper into the central Hedong coalfield, large mines represented by Pangpangta mine of Shanxi Coking Coal Group have already taken shape. And very quickly, the coal grade transits from 1/3 coking coal to fat coal. Simply by looking at the size of this central region, we can understand how abundant fat coal and the primary coking coal resources are. As for Qingshui coalfield, except for Huodong mining area, both now and in the future, which mainly contains coking coal, most of the other regions are already anthracite. At greater depths, the coalification degree becomes even higher, but it remains anthracite. The Xishan and Huoxi coalfields are already highly developed, with relatively limited reserves remaining. At present, they are coking coal, and deeper resources are still coking coal. It can therefore be seen that in the coming decades, Shanxi's long flame coal, weakly caking coal, and other shallow thermal coal resources will all be exhausted. Within the remaining reserves, only gas coal, 1/3 coking coal, fat coal, and primary coking coal, as well as meager coal and anthracite will remain dominant. Several decades from now, all thermal coal demand in Shanxi will rely entirely on middlings from coking coal washing plants or surplus coking coal supply. Therefore, Shanxi coking coal will not be exhausted, it will only be abandoned.